10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to IdiOtBlog 404. Page not found. How's everybody doing today? Today the show is simulcast on bandlab.com/idiotblog, youtube.com/idiotburns, and facebook.com/Christopher Burns. That's me, your local idiot. Out of Billings, Montana, this is Tin Man. You can find him at username TinMan710 or at bandlab.com/TINMAN710. Since we are simulcasting, I will be going to the other platforms to triple check. Into the YouTube control room I go, and yes, it looks like I am on Facebook. I'm going to go ahead and delete these false starts on the blog before I go into the control room. Delete them forever. This song is called His Promises. What's going on with Donald Trump, everybody? The President of the United States of America had all of his accounts frozen. What a bunch of crazy shit going on. Pakistan had a power outage. Wonder why that was. I heard the answer they gave. I've had a lot of meetings with Puget Sound Energy, my local energy company, back when I was in electronics school. I know a lot of people who work for power companies. My childhood best friend, well, childhood friend, his dad worked for a power company. Would always chat him up when I could. Classmate of mine worked for the lights in Kirkland and previously worked for Puget Sound Energy. So he was always chatting with the guys, and they would do meetings every few months at my college, or one of the colleges they worked with directly. And I can tell you what, sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me. I bet you they turned off the country to, you know, it's 212 million people, to boost gasoline sales. That's just a guess. Maybe COVID wasn't spreading over there and they needed to spread some COVID. They needed people to get in lines for gasoline. Ah, man, you could think of a million reasons why they would do something like this. It feels like we've already been forced into a new world order, you guys. nice, easily collapsible single world order. What do you think? Think that sounds about right to you guys? I'm not going live on Twitch at the time, just in case, Joey Esther, and just in case that is part of what was causing some of the lag going on 5 platforms instead of just 3 right now for a little bit. I wasn't able to respond to anything going on in Twitch at the same time as doing these blogs. So, not for the time, no. I may bring that back later, but as you can see, I got a new logo here surrounding me. A new screen thing, and it only has 2 logos. I was cutting BandLab out for a bit, so I probably will make a new one with 3 logos in the next week or so. And that will be Idiot, Burns, IdiOtBlog, and Christopher Burns, all 3 displayed there. Excuse me. So I gotta add one more thing to my list in my order to bump it up over 25 to get free shipping. Then those pics will be coming for Mr. Ron Swansong. I'm not sure if she can. She's an artist of sorts. Not sure. If you're listening to this blog, go ahead and head on over to tinman710 at bandlab.com and lay a follow on this guy because his music's pretty cool. It's tripping me out, real laid back. Thinking about making stuff like this very soon. Very aggressively synthetic, aggressively electronic music. I got this new app called Synth One. I've been really enjoying it. I might do something where I just play some drums to it, actually. First off, it's just really a fun app to use. This track is called Divinity and Me. So there's like a doom 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 and a but also so there's like 3 instruments going on. The drum, that kind of high, and Thanks, Joey. Currently, we're doing okay. We're surviving. If we were to get into a tight spot, we would have to reach out to my parents. But I do think, as long as everything goes the way it should, that there should be a significant amount of money from my disability back pay coming in the next couple weeks. And then there's tax returns. And if Boeing brings me back once my system's clean, it shouldn't be a concern. I earn plenty enough money at Boeing as long as I'm working. Now, I don't know how long the layoff's going to stay in effect. Third layoff, I didn't hear about a third layoff happening yet, so that's probably good. It's probably a good sign. And if not, there's always unemployment. But there may be more layoffs. We'll see. I heard that they are bringing people back from my uncle, so that would be positive. There was word before the 737 MAX was ungrounded that they may have to lay off 7,000 more employees. But I haven't heard that actually happening, and heard actually things are on an upswing with the plane being ungrounded. They're able to start ramping up production on that plane, which is accountable for about a quarter of Boeing's profits, maybe like a fifth or a sixth. It's a third of the profits are military, a third of the profits are warranty work, and a third of the profits are commercial airplanes, and a little more than half of commercial airplanes profits are from the 737, which sells like mad. Now, we don't have a competing plane for a mid-level plane, and I do believe why the 787 production in Everett was moved to North Carolina was because they're making room there to begin ramping up and starting production to gain a certificate on a new mid-size plane. And what that means is let's say the 787 and 777s are 400 people planes, and the 737s are 150 to 200 and 220 people planes. Well, the mid-size planes are that 300 range, that in between the size in between there. And if we can get a reliable new technology 2-engine plane of that size, not a 4-engine plane of that size, with a more efficient motor and design than the 757, but something like the 757, I think we would have an enjoyable place in that market share. And how that works is, first we start building the planes. We start building the prototype style planes, the first, second, and third planes. And those planes get tested rigorously by the FAA, all the documents overseen, and once everything's overseen, then they give us a certificate to build that plane. Now that's a significant thing to get. It takes like 6 months to a year or more sometimes to get from when the first plane flies to get a certificate to start building them. And what we do is we do so many steps to train everybody, keep them trained, and have all these protocols that we don't have to have a bunch of FAA guys in there in our production. We are self-certified in a sense that they give us a certificate, and as long as we do everything to keep it by doing everything the under FAA rules and self-regulating to the way that FAA would regulate us without mistake, and when they come in and do audits we don't mess up, then we retain that certificate. If they come in and they find certain torque values aren't right or something like that, then what they'll do is they'll say either you do this, you have a certified second person seeing every single torque you do for the next 6 months to get people to start doing it right, or we'll take your certificate and then we'll have to come and do and then it will slow down production dramatically because we'll have to hire and pay a bunch of FAA people to be there. So instead, we do this self-certified way, and this is not common. It takes a very rigorous, intellectually maintained way of doing business to keep the certification. When I was hired, there was over 10 years of orders secured at 50 a month. But it's more like 7 years now from the wild, wild east. I know, I'm not naked anymore. I was thinking about wearing my shirt that has the hairy chest on it, the werewolf shirt. I'll have to do that sometime. I'm gonna ask somebody something while I'm here. Let's see what they say. Jason Jacobs, where you at? This one is called Healing Soul and Mind. I see this. Nice. IFF. Comms, all that. Nice. I don't know what TACAN is. AN224. Gotta look that up. Oh. Is that an Antonov? Those look gross. I see the AN-225. Those look gross. 6 engines. Outsized cargo freight aircraft from the Soviet Union. Antonov. Been in production since 85, been in flight since 88. That's gross. That's the one with the shit ton of wheels. Tactical air navigation, yep. Oh god, that's an ugly looking plane. 6 engines. Man. Nasty. That tail, so nasty. World's largest aircraft. Yeah. Looks nasty. I see the 124 and I see the 225. Oh, those are still in service. Whoa. Anybody else hear about that old of the 4 generations of 737? Yeah, the AN-225. It looks huge. This looks nasty. I mean, look at that thing. 6 engines, big old fuselage. It kind of looks like a super extreme version of the 747. Looks sick when it's flying. Looks nasty on the ground. Looks like a warplane. That landing gear, though. Whoa. Damn. That landing gear. I know I've looked at a bunch of videos of this plane. Massive. Where the fuck can that thing land? So huge. Where do they park it? I guess they don't park it. They just go fly off again. Just open up the gate and all the cargo goes out. Lockheed EP-3A. Let me see those. Oh, that looks like a blast. I'd fly anything with a prop. The Lockheed EP-3 is electronic signals renaissance version of the P-3 Orion. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. That's sick looking. Fits like 50 people though. How many people fit in that? It's an old plane. Look at the tail on that thing. That's so old school. Damn. Navy, dude. Some sweet looking archived Navy pictures of that prop plane, dude. I see that the AN-124 and the AN-225 are totally different. Is the AN-224 a new version of the 124? And I think the AN-125, is that something? No. So if you look at the AN-124, it says this. Until the Boeing 747-8F, the AN-124 was, for 30 years, the world's heaviest gross weight production cargo plane and second heaviest operating cargo aircraft behind the one-off AN-225. So it's a one-off, the 225. The lead designer of the 124 and 125 was Viktor Tolmachev. But if you look at the 225, the 124 became the 225, and there's only like one or two of them made. How many made of the 124? 55. Only 55 made. Whoa, that's not very many. That's really not very many. And if you go to the 225, only one made. There's only one made, and its current livery, pretty much all white. Pretty much. It's agreed to complete the second airframe in 2016 for China, for Aerospace Industries Corporation of China, not to be confused with the Aviation Industry Corporation of China. And then that's going to be the prelude to commencing series production. So after that, they'll start doing it. TU, the Tupolev, is that what that is? TU 122M? TU 122M? So yeah, you're right there on Ron's Swan Song. The 225 is a one-off, big old 6-jet version of the 124. Damn, that's huge. Yeah, Tupolev, supersonic. Oh yeah, it's from 1969. 400 and something built, produced up until 1997. Still in service. So old. That's like a, what is it? A Type 3, Generation 3 style plane. Wings fold back. I had a Tupolev toy when I was a kid of one of these. 4 people. Power plants. There's 2 of them. Maximum speed's pretty high. Nice. There was a long-range missile tested on it, but apparently not used in service yet. We'll see. World War III's coming. Just kidding. On 22nd of January, 2 years ago, a Tupolev 22M3 crashed after a training flight while attempting to make a landing at the airbase near Russia's Murmansk region. 3 of the 4 crew members died in the crash. 1 survived. Yeah, there is no 224. Whoa! It says there's a video online of that Tupolev 22M3 crashing, and it hits so hard the cockpit breaks apart and the back part explodes. 3 people inside the cockpit died, but 1 lived. That's crazy. Just 2 years before that, a year and a half before that, 1 overran a runway due to an aborted takeoff, and the aircraft was written off. All 4 members survived without injury. Rough. There are only 63 of the 497 made still in service. Tupolev 122B. That's just a different variant. Yeah. Antonov, Tupolev. Oh. I don't know if you're aware of this Ron Swan song, but this guitar right here, Canoni Keen, I don't know if you're aware of this. I have a sponsor with them, and they are a brand out of Russia. It says, with love from the glorious motherland, breed 23, the killer whale, by Canoni Keen, right in the back. And made in Russia, and shipped to me from the guys there. And steep discount. Part of the sponsorship was that I had to make a certain amount of videos. And eventually they sold out of that model. And I was off the hook. Oh, man. You said they fell off the deck of the carrier. You must have been steering it and going like this and thinking you were funny, goofing off. Spin it one way. No, I shouldn't joke. That sucks. Safety first, man. Yeah, I like the guitar a lot. It's like, it's kind of Fender. It's kind of Fender-esque. And, let me see the scale. It's like a Fender style guitar with a Les Paul length. So it's kind of like, instead of being 25.5, it's 24 3/4 length scale. But the body, the neck, I mean, has a lot of body to it. It's almost as thick as a Strat, but the fretboard is, I'd say it's somewhere between a Gibson and a Jackson. So if a Gibson's like a 16 radius and a Jackson's a 20, this is like an 18 or so. And then the pickups weren't bad, but I did add different pickups. I did a JB and an SH2. Let me see. A Jazz. I did a Jazz in the bridge. A Jazz in the neck, and a SH2 slash style pickup in the bridge. And those two work really well together. And then this switch here is a 6-way switch. You see this? So there's, if you go down, there's 3 positions, right? And if you go up, there's 3 positions. And these lower 3 positions, it's humbucker, both humbuckers, and then just this humbucker. So 1, both, and 1. But over here, it's single, just this coil. Then it's this coil and this in parallel, and then this in parallel. And you get, like, right here, you definitely get the Strat sounds. Right here, you get that Jimmy Page kind of sound. This is what I'm recording all the winter songs on. Right here, you get that kind of almost inversed telly sound. Right here, you get the standard heavy metal 80s, 70s, 80s, early 90s kind of, late 70s, 80s, early 90s kind of custom guitar sound. Right here, all the way in this spot, you get that big blooming jazz on a solid style guitar kind of sound, that kind of booming thick bass. And right here, you get both these pickups, and you got a, for clean, you get a really full, robust sound for like strumming. And it's also cool for kind of like overloading a fuzz. Both of these spots are really good for a fuzz, including this actually single coil spot's really cool in a fuzz. Yeah, and it's a nice guitar. I enjoy it. A couple things about it to note are, oh shit, I got a crack here on the, hope that's gonna be okay. But yeah, I got a little crack here on the, that's not cool, but hopefully I can fix it if I need to. But it looks like the only thing is this part right here, this nut. It's kind of cheap, and it came kind of messed up, and it's just keeps, it's on its way out. So I'm gonna need to do something to fix it at some point. That's what I should add to my order, is a nice nut for this guitar. That's what I should add to my order from Amazon. Nope. If I can find that little white piece of plastic in the room here. Yeah, there it is. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. Well, I'll take a closer look later, but that's the only thing I'd complain about. Otherwise, everything else on it's nice. It stays in tune. I haven't had to replace like two machine heads or anything crazy like that. Only thing I did was wire it up a little different with some different pickups, and it came to life. You know, they saw my videos on Instagram and they reached out to me. Hey, you want a guitar at a steep discount? And then you make some videos and we'll post them. And I made some real fun videos. And you guys saw some of them here on BandLab. So I want to make one more for them, since they said I'm good, but I want to make one more. And I would really like for them to go, hey, want another one at some point? And they'll go, yeah, I'll have another one. Same discount? A joy to play. And my first Telecaster shaped body. If I could have it anyway, the next guitar I get from them would be SG shape or something along those lines. Something a little bit more metal. Explorer shape or something cool like that. This is crazy. This song is crazy. But did you guys hear about that crash on that 737-8? The 737 started out with dash 100, went up to 400, then it went to, I think it was a dash 800 that crashed. Then they went to like dash 700, 800, 900, and the next generation after that. Then they called them Next Generation 737NG, and that was with a new motor. And those three different lengths were called NG-789. And then, I think I'm getting this right. And then now they have the 737 MAX-8, 9, and 10, which are 8, 9, and 10 different lengths. But yeah, the 737 crashed, and they're finding like parts, people's clothes and luggage. It's crazy. Never cool when that happens. Never a good thing at all. Happened to be same airline that had one crash a little bit ago, and also same country that had a MAX crash. Guess they're still looking for the black box, which is just a chunk of equipment. It can squish and crush just as easy as anything else, but it does have all the logs of what's going on. And I guess they are recovering human remains now. Only 19 fatal accidents with over 3 decades of operation and over 4 million flights. I believe the 777's at 2 million flights without a single crash. There's never been a fatal crash of a 777, if I'm right. Zero deaths. There's never been a fatal crash of a 777. And there's only been one 77 ever crashed, and it was crashed during a landing, and everyone got out. And then it caught fire and burned up. And that was Emeritus. But 0 deaths. And that was in Dubai. So, that's too bad. About 787 crash. Maybe there's no crashes by a 787. Yep, no Dreamliner has ever, that's what it is. So 787 has 2 million flights without a single incident. 777 has even more flights, but 1 incident. So, not cool that that happened with the 737s. They should have been part of that same kind of historical difference in ability and airworthiness, but they are now, because everyone's getting a full suite of training. The question is how to know that the song is in this tempo without any help. How do you know the tempo of a song? You play it to a tempo. If you don't have it to a tempo, you put it in a program and try and line it up. If you can't line it up, it might be played as a band and not to a tempo. A lot of songs are recorded without a tempo or a metronome, or they're recorded to the drums, and the drums are played naturally. So they have variations. Good examples of that are Alice in Chains, Led Zeppelin, even though the guy who plays drums in Led Zeppelin is like a fucking metronome. Yeah, so there's a lot of ways you can line them up. And sometimes songs are played with instruments that are at different tempos. And the last question, where's Julianne and Luella? They're over out there. The other part of the house. Sorry if I'm not active today. I'm really sore neck today. Now, the only 787 issue was lithium batteries on the 787. They did catch fire, and it was grounded for a few months. Well, they basically put those units in a big old can and then went and looked at the wiring on those and kind of made some changes to prevent that from ever happening again. But then also put them in these big metal cans. I had a coworker who was on a 787 when one of the first ones caught fire, and he's like, that's interesting. He's like looking down. It's a really bare plane, and he's sitting in a seat, and it's really naked plane, and he sees some lights flickering down below him, and below the floor below him. He's like, hey, there's some lights going on down there. Oh wait, fire! And he goes and they go to land. It's like a cargo version, right? Almost like a cargo version. And they go to land this 787, and as they're going to land it, one of the guys had taken out a fire extinguisher, and then they go to land it. They get into their seats, and this fire extinguisher is like whoosh, whoosh, going around as they're turning around and aggressively landing. And I guess they got down, and he goes outside the plane, and he's sitting there. He's looking around, and he's taking a video of the thing. I won't give you the name of who, but he no longer works there, so he's good to go. He retired after 32 years, I believe, 31 years. Thanks a lot for all the training, and it really was cool to know you, dude. I'll say his name is Tim. Tim G. That's enough. D1. Name of this song is D1. Been working on this Jimi Hendrix-esque, Jimi Hendrix meets country kind of like winter track. I'm either going to call it Winter Fog, Winter Lights, or Winter Sun, Winter Melt, something like that. I think I'm going to call it Winter Fog. Was the capital near my place? You mean like the capital of the U.S.? No. That should happen every week. Every week, a bunch of patriots should go storm the halls of the Capitol. Just get together randomly, secretly, and go storm the halls and scare the shit out of those politicians and make them and demand things from them, because those politicians don't do shit for us. Those politicians in Washington, D.C. are garbage. But that's just my anarchist rebel self saying that. Storm the gates. bumped it with my phone. I never had my phone do something like that. That was weird. My phone moved the song over. This will probably be the last track, the feature of Tin Man. Super cool, super experimental. And that happened 3,500 miles away from me, and was less violent and less aggressive than 99% of the Black Lives Matters protests, and with a much more important cause, wanting to have an election that's fair and counted in a way that we know it was counted right. One thing I'd like to see is I'd like to see us be able to send in our ballots and then go online and look and see that our ballot was counted for who we counted it for. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see a much more secure system. I don't believe that our election system is as secure as they would like us to believe. Yeah. And I'm still wondering what's going on with that whole banning of Trump thing. It's not like Trump said for those people to go storm the Capitol. And he's always been against violence at protests, and he's been verbal about it the whole time. This song is trippy. I'm gonna look up guitar nuts. I got guitar nuts. Do you got guitar nuts? Fender style, not... Yeah. Brass. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I think I'll be getting. A brass nut. For this beast right here. 1.7 inches. Let's see what I got a nice handy rule right here. Go ahead and use that. Check and see. Looks like 1.2, 1.5 out of 8. 1 5/8. It's a little bit wide. .62 it says, not 1.7. So it is the right width. It says it's designed for a guitar with a 9.5 radius. I don't think this has a 9.5 radius though. Might be a little bit of a quest finding the right Gruker, Guyuker. These brass ones are pretty common. You see the dimensions on this one. Everything's in millimeter in this one. Fits a Strat Telly ST-TL models, pre-slotted with string location grooves. Hi, that's cute. It does fit.
Told you.
Can't believe it.
Just barely.
Look at Luella's new dress or pant
Like a little
suit. 70s pantsuit thing. Pant dress. Whoa. Cutie, cute, cute, cute.
It's super cute with the back of the long hair.
Wait, hold your hand right here. I'll show you right here like this. There you go.
Hi, Joey.
Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
Woo! This is cool. I like it. I like this little
Mommy, hang it.
mommy.
Mommy, hang it.
How do you get it on?
It's Mommy.
How do you get it on?
I'm not. Mommy.
How does it get on?
You just step into the one button in the back.
Step in through this the top right here.
The neck it does. There's one button in the neck.
Oh, okay. Cool. Whoa! Careful. Hey,
Mommy.
try it on. Aw. Oh. She's too cute.
Daddy, I sassy. It's sassy.
She's sassy.
You are.
You go to bed. You can't see me. You're the best, Luella. You're the best.
All right, guys. Next song will be the one we hit the road on. Y'all enjoyed the show. Yeah. Politicians are garbage. They just are greedy people. They're motivated by lobbyists and financial gain. Thinking about making a whole metal album about how they're garbage. Fuck the politicians. Fuck the politicians. Fuck the politicians. Stop the wars. All right, guys. You guys have a good evening. Catch you tomorrow. Later, y'all. You're tickling me. You're tickling me.